Hello, friends. I am Sam from Sam's Disney Diary. That is the blue-haired blogger himself, Greg from Fantasyland News. I'm on the road this week. It's September the 4th, 2024. And is it all about the Food and Wine Festival this week, Greg? What's happening?
I have to pull out my paper. There's so much stuff here, Sam. Epcot Food and Wine 2024. We got Muppets Lab. We got merch to food to Communicore Hall to more food, and we actually have festival favorites and one festival thing that we absolutely hated, which I will personally go into.
Okay.
What else is going on at Disney World? Tron Light Cycle Run virtual queue ends this week, my friend. Disney villains are coming to Hollywood Studios. Goodbye, Lightning McQueen.
And with that, stick around for that and so much more coming up this week at Walt Disney World Live with Sam and Greg. As a reminder, if you are listening to the podcast at Sam's Disney Diary, please be sure to check the show notes for the YouTube video because we're going to be looking at a lot of pictures tonight, Greg.
A lot of pictures, my friend. You and I spent a lot of time reviewing food, eating food, enjoying food, and basically filling ourselves full of food. It is food.
That's right. And it all starts with a trip into Epcot. So, we were talking about this before we started, Greg. I love to start a video just going in, riding the monorail in while we talk about some other things. So let's jump on the monorail, head into Epcot. But first, what's going on over at Tron and the standby queue?
Yeah, let's talk some other news real quick. Two things I want to mention is Tron Light Cycle Run is officially done with what do you call it? Virtual queue. There is no more virtual queue as of September 9th. September 8th is the last day you can do virtual queue. And then September 9th, you can walk in. It is officially on standby line, which is good news for the people who want to ride Tron more than one time a day or didn't get to the party and get to ride it in the morning and get a virtual queue. You could stack them back to back. You could do virtual queue and Lightning Lane. It will still be on Lightning Lane, but for now, it is now standby as of September 9th
that is next weekend, basically. And Greg, do you know if it is certainly it's still available for individual Lightning Lane?
Yes, you can still buy the Lightning Lane single pass for it.
Got it. And of course, you still need to get up at 7 a.m. if you want to jump on the Tiana's Bayou Adventure virtual queue, or you want to jump over to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Tiana should be coming off soon also, which is going to be nice. In other news, we didn't talk about this one, Sam, but I wanted to mention it.
Yeah.
D23 tickets went on sale for Disney Springs AMC 24 on October 16th, which Holly and I got tickets for. They are doing the 75th anniversary of Ichabod Crane.
Oh,
And they're going to show a
so
bunch of Halloween
we're
shorts.
talking the Adventures of Ichabod. We're
Yeah.
talking
Sleepy
the
Hollow.
Horseman. Nice.
Yeah, so they're going to do that, and they're going to do a bunch of other Halloween shorts. So I would imagine like Skeleton Dance, maybe the Windmill, a few other things. But Disney Archives is coming over to talk about the 75th anniversary. It's $34. I think tickets are still on sale if you check out
What day of the
D23
week
Gold
is that
member.
again?
What?
What day of the week?
Wednesday, the 16th.
Very cool. Very cool. Here we go by Moana's Journey of the Water. It is wonderful to ride through the monorail at Epcot, looking inwards to Communicore Hall, Communicore Plaza, and the garden. It's just so
Yeah,
cool.
and then the big news, Sam. Not only are we getting a Villain's Land in Disney's Magic Kingdom sometime in the near future, next 5 to 7 years, but they've just announced that there is going to be a new Disney Villain live entertainment show at Sunset Showcase, hosted by the Magic Mirror, with the likes of Cruella de Vil, Captain Hook, Maleficent, and they will be taking over where Lightning McQueen Racing Academy is. So goodbye, Lightning McQueen. You are going over to the Magic Kingdom soon, so they are getting rid of you. But if you look at the picture on this, Sam, you can see Maleficent, Captain Hook, Scar is on this, Cruella, Jafar, Hades in the background. But the best one is they actually show Yzma from Emperor's New Groove is going to be part of this show. Big news.
They're bringing them all out. When I first saw that announcement, I thought, wow, this is going to be happening quickly for Halloween, but this is 2025.
Yeah, they got to redo that whole building, man. It was like, if they can do it that quick.
Plaza, that's the big empty box that Disney built that they could bring things in and out of. I think Lightning McQueen had a good run, was very popular when it first started, but maybe not as popular now. And with a rock and roller coaster finally out of its refurbishment, this sort of makes sense to
I have a
get some villains.
Theory about this. I don't think Villain Show is going to last very long. I think it's going to be around for maybe 2 years, but that could be where we're going to see Monsters Inc. go in that area.
Well, behind it, it's very, you never know. You're right, Greg. I think it's cool. Were there any other details in that press release saying like multiple shows a day? You and I talked before we went live that building was a Monsters evening party for a while before it was DJ Mickey. It went through a couple of things early on really quickly before it became Lightning McQueen. And I'm not sure if it's a paid ticketed event or is this going to happen multiple times a day?
I think this is going to be, look, what's Hollywood Studios really well known for is their stage shows. Your Indiana Jones, Beauty and the Beast, Frozen. I think this is going to be an addition, and you're probably going to get multiple shows a day out of this, especially with we have the Little Mermaid show is coming back. Yes. So Hollywood Studios kind of is getting back to that entertainment show kind of theme park. I love it, man. This is great news.
I love it. I think you might have also seen the Freeform launched its 31 Days of Halloween, or at least the schedule, which was, oh my gosh, what special wasn't on this list of things that they're going to be playing over the October season.
And one thing I loved about that list was Something Wicked, This Way Comes has been added this year.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then they have the Tim Burton Nights. They're going to do that again. They're going to have some Mickey shorts on there. Freeform does a great job. Holly and a few other people I know, just kind of leave it on in the background and it just plays and you can go about your business in your house and it's just there playing Disney stuff.
I get that, man. I sure do.
Yeah. So check that out starting October 1st.
Yes, October 1st. Let's head over to the Food and Wine Festival, if that's cool.
Yeah, man. That's the big news this week, right?
It
I
is the
mean,
big
not that
news.
the
We
other
got to
stuff
see
isn't
each
big
other
news,
down there,
but
which, by the way, the trip was amazing. Thank you for playing host for a couple of things, and you and I divided and conquered, did a whole bunch of stuff. But I have to at least say this, dude, because you and I talked about it again and again. I'm at Epcot. I'm looking through attraction wait times, and I happen to notice the Rise of Resistance was a 10-minute wait, 10-minute return time. So I did what any Star Wars fan would do. I left Epcot and went to Hollywood Studios, and I was able to ride the thing 4 times in an hour. Oh my
now,
God,
now,
blew my mind, dude.
which is very impressive. But we also have to add it was Labor Day weekend, and that was an after hours event about to start there.
About
So,
to start. Yes, I was
um,
not part of the after hours event. Let me make that clear. But I
yeah,
was there
you
before
got
the
on
park
four
closed for an
times in
after
a
hours.
row, man. That is impressive.
It was pretty good. It was
Which,
pretty
by the way, I looked at times today over at the parks. 5 minutes, my friend.
good.
5 minutes at
5 minutes. So
1
look,
p.m.
Labor Day week is the slow time at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, it is the only slow time left on the calendar. And I think a lot of that's because those of us that live up north, yeah, sometimes we take our kids out of school for that educational trip to Walt Disney World, but you don't do it the first or second week of the year. You do it later in the school year. So
Right. So yeah, Northeast, you start the day after Labor Day. So everybody was back up there getting ready. You don't want your kid to start a few days later than everybody else. By that point, they're lost, man. Those first
I,
5 days,
I
kind of
hear you.
important.
All
But
right, let's head
I,
into Epcot there, the creation shop. That's one of the first places you go because, buddy, you're all about the merchandise. So tell me
oh,
a little bit about the lines first day. I have seen specifically, I think it was the Festival of the Arts this past January. The place was
yeah.
a zoo all day long the first day for merch. How was it there at
Which is
Creation Shop?
kind of weird because this is almost the same exact merch as Festival of the Arts. You had your Figment stuff, you had Orangebird, not Orangebird, but Remy stuff. You had the lug bags, you had the ears, you had the spirit jerseys, the lounge flies, but no line, my friend, whatsoever. They had the barricade and the stanchions set up all up and down Creation Shop. But when we walked in, they were starting to take down the stanchions. By 10 a.m., they were gone and they were just letting anybody in the doors because the crowd that they expected didn't show up. They also divided up the merch a little bit more this year. You can find almost everything everywhere instead of finding just bits and pieces here. Whereas in Creation Shop has everything, and then you would find like the Odyssey Pavilion had just Orange Bird, or
Right.
another building had just Figment. No, this was everything was everywhere. It was very easy to get. No big fights, no craziness. It was very easy to get in and out of there. Festival opening day can get a little crazy. And I always go in there first thing. And then I'm like, I spend most of my time, Sam, talking to other creators instead of doing my job. So I've learned to
I
not
have
go
witnessed
in.
that from you. I have witnessed that.
Yeah.
Some really cool merch. I love the we just looked at the Figment ears and the lounge fly, and they had spirit jersey. That's sort
Yeah.
of the pattern there. It's Figment with his frying
You're the
pan
big
and
purple guy just cooking up some imaginary food.
yeah, which is cool. And I kind of like in the background behind it, there's a spaceship Earth and some icons from the World Showcase.
Love it.
That's all good. I have no problem with that. Muppet Lab merchandise this year, buddy. Wow.
Did you walk out of there with any Muppets merchandise?
I missed it the first day. The second day I
Yeah.
saw it, the T-shirt with Muppet Labs on the back. I thought the pin was really, really cool. But you and I were worried that the Muppets would be in the lab again because everything said the lab, the
Brewing
wing lab.
Lab.
Nothing
Yeah.
said Muppets, but it was
So
indeed the Muppets lab.
I walked out of there for my daughter. I bought her the Muppets Lab t-shirt. I bought her the Muppet Lab beaker.
The
Did
beaker
not get the
glass,
pin.
like a mug that's a beaker, is really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So it is sitting over off to the side of me now. But yeah, the new lug bag, which was Remy, they when we got in there, it was limit one, right? You
Yes.
could buy one. An hour later, it was a limit of two, and then an hour later, it was no limit.
Yeah, so that makes me wonder. I mean, for Festival of Arts was the first time I remember seeing these lug bags. and
Yeah.
that Figment bag was flying off the shelves. It was gone the second half of the day. But the is it the Remy bag, or is it just Lug, or is it, I don't know.
So Lug joined working with Disney during Destination D23 a year and a half ago, or a year and
Okay.
2 months ago.
Okay.
And then we noticed the first bags would sell out, and they're kind of really well made. They're a little smaller than the Loungefly bags, so
Oh,
they're easier to transport around. So I think that along with the rarity of it, they were selling out quickly. Now you can walk around World Showcase and find the Italy booth pavilion has it. The Great
yeah.
Britain booth has it. Like they're more readily available now. The special show ones, I'm shocked that it was still there. Again, I don't know how many people want to walk around with a rat on their bag.
Well, it's Remy. It's not a rat, but I understand what you're saying.
It's a rat from
I
the
prefer Figment or Orange Bird, but
hit
it's just
Pixar film
it's fine.
Ratatouille.
They have them there. They're still available.
Yeah.
Speaking of Remy, the hide and squeak is happening again, as always. The bowls, which are the completers, are those the same as last year or similar to what they had last
No,
year?
they are different, completely different.
Oh,
They are a bit deeper. On the bottom of the bowl, they each have a saying on them, which is really cute. They are plastic, but they're thick plastic. You know what they are good for, Sam? Two things. This is
ice
what
cream.
ice cream and cereal.
Well,
They're
I
the
just know
best
the ice cream.
cereal bowl you can get.
There is a gentleman's button down was there a second ago that may or may not be at my house. It is.
Yeah, you are big on those button-up shirts, my
I
friend.
like them.
Yeah, I mean,
like
and
them,
you
but there's
get
some of the other Spice of
every
Life
festival.
Figment collection.
Yeah.
And by the way, that video that's rolling was taken inside of Communicore Hall.
Yeah. You
We'll
want to talk about that?
About that in just a second.
Yeah. We'll wait on that one.
We'll wait on that one just a second. In fact, why not go to this also inside of Communicore Hall? This is one of the new festival locations this year, McIntyre's. This is inside of the hall, making it maybe only the second indoor spot, along with the Brewing Lab. I think those are the only ones that are inside. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sunshine Season kind of just has one thing. It's not really part of the festival. So yeah, this would be the only other one that's inside.
And this, for the first time now, we're seeing the Communicore Hall being used as a festival location for both merchandise.
Yes, we are, Sam. Sam, did it live up to your hype? No, I'll take that one, Sam. It did not live up to our hype. It didn't live up to anybody's hype. But
let's take a look at another picture here from a different angle. This is inside Communicore Hall.
I was going to kind of go off the deep end and say how much I hate this, but then I had to stop and think back. We were promised that these were going to be festival spaces. They were going to have interactive stuff. There was going to be more to it. But then we're going to talk in a little bit about Muppets Lab. And what happened at Muppets Lab is the reason we don't have all the nice stuff that we were supposed to have over at Communicore Hall.
And we'll get to that in a second. But one of the things
Communicore Hall gets a little bit of a pass because of that. But it also, in no way, shape, or form did it live up to, oh my gosh, you guys have to see this during festivals. It's going to be amazing.
I had hoped, Greg, for a location that replaced the old festival center where you're doing the culinary demonstrations, where you're doing the mixologies. That, to me, was part of the promise of Communicore Hall, and it's just not there.
It's not there. And could something more be coming? We're going to have to wait until holidays or Festival of the Arts. Like the images that we saw originally were Festival of the Arts.
Yes.
So we saw a big Figment statue. We saw balloons and color and stuff was everywhere. This is the first festival that Communicore Hall has been open for, right? Yeah. They have not done anything in here other than just be a spot to relax. Now
There's
it's
seats,
half
there's
merch and half McIntyres. It just doesn't live up to the hype. And look, we are always looking to the future, and we're going to be positive and think that they probably just dropped the ball on this one.
I'm glad that it was opened, that it's a new location, but I do hope to get more. Because look, I love those mixologies and all those things that we were
What was that
promised.
at? That was the Wonders of Life Pavilion, is where that used to happen?
Yes, and before that, it was always the festival center, right?
Right. And then they did it in the back by Communicore. What is that? World Showplace.
They did it in a couple places, but yes.
Yeah. So,
all right, let's go.
look, I am going to be
What is it?
reading.
Festival Favorites? Is that the location that's in Communicore Plaza outside? You and I did get to partake in some of that for the festival.
Yeah, I'm going to be reading a little bit out of the food guide because they have it very well done where if you look in the inside, you will see where it has every menu from every single place. There's McIntyres, but it starts at World Celebration, and then it works its way around from Mexico all the way over to Canada and does a great job. So yeah, you and I started our day with trying the new Festival Favorites, right?
Which was very good.
Sam, what have we learned from that day?
We learned that Florida rain comes quickly, but you knew this. Well, let's start with what we had. The pork rinds with the pimento cheese were phenomenal. The pierogies with the sausage, you can't see the kielbasa underneath it. The key lime pie, the beer flight, all really good.
All really good stuff. The key lime I thought was good. The pimento cheese was good. The sausage kind of lacking. Look, but not every booth is going to be overblowing with flavor and stuff. The pierogies were fine. Look, you come from pierogi country. What was your deal?
They were fine. They weren't the best, but they were fine. They were pierogies with
they were good. Like it's a good booth. It's a beer stand.
They're not homemade and they're not fresh, but they're
they're not Mrs. T's.
It wasn't far off of though.
But it wasn't far off.
It wasn't far
off. And that sausage, it was a very small sausage.
It was the key lime pie was really good.
Key lime pie.
I'm sorry.
The key lime pie and the pimento cheese made that booth worth it.
It was. And we have some outtake videos of us starting our tasting and then running from the rain moments later.
It was great. Sam was like, okay, Sam spends his time setting up so properly and professionally, and it looks great. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, we should probably have gone inside. And then it starts a drip, and we hit record, and it downpoured on us. And we ran, covering food and grabbing tripods. And, you live and learn, man. You live and learn.
Pork rinds wet are not that good.
Pork rinds wet with pimento cheese, meh, not the best.
All right, so that was great stuff.
I enjoyed them.
Liked some of the things they had up there. Let's head across the causeway over the Brew Wing Lab at the Odyssey, and I'm just gonna let you take this conversation because I don't know where to take it.
So Brew Wing is now host to the second year in a row Muppet Labs, right? They have what is the greatest photo op that they've put in there, and it was really well done. You can see,
and it was not there last year, by the way. This is new this year,
brand new, and you can see that what you don't see is the stanchions are up. You can actually walk behind, sit down, take a photo, or if you are with somebody, you can be one of you can be Beaker, and the other can be Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, which Scott and I did.
Right.
There is Easter eggs and nods to past Muppet shows at Epcot, past shows for the Muppets. There's a few stickers on there that said Muppets 70th anniversary, which just started.
Yes.
And then within 48 hours, Sam, it was gone.
Yeah.
Completely removed. And you sent me a picture the next day and we're like, I wanted to get a picture and it is gone.
Because I didn't realize that it was a step and repeat where you go into it and get your picture taken. I just took photos of it. So I'm like, oh, I got to go over there and do it. And I get there and it's gone. And you had learned some
so apparently, and we're not throwing blame. We don't do that here. But a child of a certain age, quote unquote, went tornado
Oh boy.
and destroyed the whole backdrop and destroyed everything that was on the table. It wasn't just that child. There was another child that had issues with pulling stuff off and ripping it apart. While unfortunately the parents did not tell the child to stop, they let it go. So the backdrop was ruined beyond compare. They had to remove it right away for safety concerns. It will return is what the official word is, but we will see that photo op again. If you're trying to get a photo up, it could be there tomorrow. It could take a few days. Apparently the damage was extensive.
I'm surprised. I think I even mentioned this, Greg. I was surprised there wasn't a photo pass person there.
I am too, because I thought that first off, that would have been a great photo op of you with Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker, and you guys all sitting at the table. It would have looked great. Magic shot.
Put them in it. Yes.
But no, there was nobody there. They had people working in the building. They had people cleaning up tables, helping other people out. There was cast members around. These kids just were not supervised enough to control what's going on. And we have all been there with our kids where you turn your head for 5 seconds and things go and happen. They happen. I just implore people, keep an eye out. Like, this kind of ruined it for a lot of people. And you can't throw blame.
Back soon. I look forward.
It'll be back, man. It'll be back. It's great.
I look forward to that. That's the most I can say there right now. In the meantime, the food inside of the Brewing Lab is still amazing. We both had the opportunity to try it out. So this is one of your pictures. Tell me what you have there. Is that the meatless wings, or those are the
no. So I didn't go meatless this year. You know what? I before we went to the crazy, unnecessarily spicy yet extremely tasty Carolina Reaper pepper curry wings, which I don't want to talk about right now. I went traditional, man. If you can do a traditional hot wing good, everything else is probably going to be good also.
I would agree.
So they were I wanted to try just the wings, and they were good. They had the right spice. It was tasted fine. It tasted like you would want wings to taste. Like if I was sitting down watching a football game, I want 12 of those wings in front of my face.
That's awesome. I love that.
And then right over there is also the fried pickle spears.
So that's kind of like going meatless right there. Fried pickle spears.
Sure. Yes, it was absolutely meatless. No pickles were harmed in the creation of. No cucumbers were okay. All the cucumbers were harmed in the creation of it. Yeah, they're good, man. I wish there was more sauce or a better sauce that went with them, but they taste great. They're pickle spears that are deep fried. Like, how wrong can you be? They're great.
No, I mean, if you put that inside of a hot dog, you might be onto something.
And then, of course, you have that is the beer flight with the pickled hard seltzer, the other hard cider, and the lagers.
We still have the milkshake there. We got a pickle milkshake. Of course, it's the same. Tell me about this pickled cider.
The pickled, it's not the pickled hard cider. Yeah, no, the pickled hard seltzer. It didn't taste like anything. Sam, you and I are of a certain age. Do you remember Zima?
Yes.
Yes,
I do.
Imagine dropping a piece of pickle in a Zima. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on.
Moving on to Italy. This was yours. The Italian style nachos. Tell me about these.
Nope.
No? Okay.
No. Listen, I love Disney. I love Italian food. I'm married to a half Italian woman. If I spend too much time, I will go down a very dark hole yelling about these things because they are that bad. This is the worst food I've had at Epcot in my life.
Okay, I did not have it, and you're making me happy that I didn't.
You're good on you. And you know, here's what's sad. It's a positive at the end. The Italy booth pavilion has not been good in years. And we were hoping that this year was like you roll the dice and you hope you don't pull up craps. And every year we roll craps. One year we're not going to roll craps. We're going to get a 7.
I have to say that, and we'll see going down this path. I don't think the best food was around World Showcase. Not this year. It was.
I agree with you because you and I, we were lucky because we tried other things that offset that flavor because that one was bad and that was the worst of the festival. Now everything we talk about after that is amazing compared to that. Like, and that's the bar. And it's so now everybody knows everything that I talk about from here on out is all going to be good.
There you go. There you go. I got one that I'll point out I didn't like that much, but of course the train is ready for the festival as always. And
the train, that is just iconic right there. That is Disney.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And there's your iconic picture looking across at Spaceship Earth with the food and wine. It's something about being out there. It wasn't too hot. It was beautiful blue skies. It was a beautiful day for the start of Food and Wine.
Until it rained.
Until it rained on us specifically.
Yes.
It only rained on our half of the park.
Flavors of America. Is that what the booth is called this year?
It is, let me skip past a few here. Spain, Italy. Here we go. Went to Greece, one too far. Flavors of America, my friend, the American adventure.
And this year, the flavors of America are primarily hot dogs.
Disney hot dogs, my friend. In different type of buns. I don't know why the buns don't match up with the hot dog, but look, these are Disney hot dogs. These are the hot dogs you get everywhere. It's the toppings. It's the New York style which has sauerkraut, onion, tomato sauce, and spicy mustard in a brioche bun. Look, if it's a New York hot dog, sauerkraut, spicy mustard, bun. That's it.
Yeah.
Little wet. I'm good. I love that. The Chicago dog was decent. But it was the Carolina dog that was really good, which had chili coleslaw, yellow mustard on a brioche bun. It was good, man. This booth is just
Southwest hot dog. I don't think we had that.
Did not have that one, which had jalapeno, bacon, pinto beans.
I will say one of the better items in at the festival was at this booth, and it was that chocolate cake that they had there in America. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It had
freshly baked chocolate pudding,
bourbon cream on top. So good.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not get the dessert there, and I'm kind of kicking myself.
You need to get that. It was really good. And as I go around and I grade things, I find that anything that's a dessert tends to do much better for me.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. It was nice because you and I got to split up a little bit, and you went out and did some food stuff with John from Epcot.
Yes.
And you guys did some great food reviews. And I think if you go to right now, if you go to Epcot and their YouTube, he put up a bunch of your food.
I'm still working on one that's going to combine what we did and what I did with John. But
yeah, I mean, I think you guys did a great job. And then you and I got to go over to Harvest Hollow.
And you can tell everybody's in the rain here for that one. Oh, let's go back because I wanted to talk about this a little deeper because Harvest Hollow is the best food at the festival. This is the area that stretches from World Celebration Garden all the way through past Figment back to where the Honey Bistro had been previously. This area had some of the best fall-inspired dishes at the festival.
There was no better 3 booths, and Harvest Hollow consists of 3 booths. And it is Forest and Field, Milled and Mold, and Bramblewood Bites are the 3. And they could be one giant booth, but they're spread out because that's how Disney designed it. And it's beautiful. It is when the weather starts turning a little bit here in Florida, think October 1st, sometime around there. This is the greatest 3 booths they've had at this festival. Almost every single bite we had to have was excellent. Every drink we had was excellent. Everything, the design, the look, the feel, it was so well thought out and so well done that as much as I hated the Italy booth and that pasta nachos, I love the Harvest Hollow and the food there just as equally as much
I
as I
just
hated that.
I love that sign right there. Harvest Hollow established 2024. I think it's the
Yep.
best.
And
Now,
it
you and I
will,
also
I hope it
learned
comes
from
back
our
every year
previous
now.
experience. So we divided and conquered. We visited as many of these booths as we could. And then we went inside to Sunshine Seasons because we knew the rain was coming. So we got
We
everything.
learned
We
our
gathered it up,
lesson.
carried as much as we could. I don't know how we did it. And we ended up on a table inside of Sunshine Tree.
Yeah, so this is what you're looking at is Bramblewood Bites and Milled and Mold. Yeah, Milled and Mold.
Milled and mold,
Um,
and also the one right outside of the land, which was Farmer Fresh.
yeah, that one.
It was that one
Fresh
because
Eats,
I wanted
whatever
to
it is,
go to the third. They hadn't reopened because of the rain. So
which is the
instead,
lemon poppy
yeah, the lemon
cake.
poppy seed cake and the uh, I'm blanking on what it was.
Okay.
The
Bramblewood
ribs,
Bites had the
the short
cedar.
ribs, amazing.
Yeah, that's right. The
But
short ribs
let's talk
were
about a couple
amazing.
of these because I think I have some of your club. This one right here, the red wine braised beef short
Yeah,
rib.
was
That
really
was
good.
at the booth directly outside of the land pavilion. This to me was one of the best
That
dishes.
polenta was so good.
It was good. There was a lot in this bowl. It was worth the price. This to me was a very good lunch. It was really good.
And then we mixed in like on the other one, we got the grilled bison with the butternut squash puree under there, which and the wild mushrooms. Those mushrooms, the squash and the bison together all worked perfectly.
That was good. And that was from Milled and Mulled. Is that right?
That's no, that one is Bramblewood Bites.
Bramblewood Bites. Either
Yep.
way, this is awesome.
It's one of the three of Harvest Hollow. This is where everything comes from. The grilled cider brined pork tenderloin, I really enjoyed. I love pork that isn't overcooked. Pork doesn't always need to be gray all the way through. A little bit of red in there. It's well cooked. I like the apple cider flavor of it. It was fall. It was a fall flavor to me. Totally enjoyed it. Highlight of the festival for me.
I liked it. I wasn't super keen on the sauce that it was in. I liked the braised short ribs better, but it wasn't bad by any means. Wasn't bad.
I got to go check out if the Fishwada is back over there in that booth over there, Central
Yes,
America booth.
yes. And I think I also want, before we go to Forest and Field, I want to go back for a second because in the very top of this image, this is the lemon poppy seed cake that also came from the booth near the land. That was amazing. I loved it. I want that in the morning for breakfast with a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
We also had the carrot cake was
excellent.
also at one of those, and this cheesecake here in the center.
Yeah, with the walnuts and everything was really
And
good.
the cheesecake, by the way, counted for Familla's montage, as did the pimento cheese with the pork rinds, and I did get my 5 stamps.
You did, and we will show the reward for that in a moment. We also checked out and got the spiced apple old fashioned inspired cocktail.
It's not. It's just barely in the top of this.
Just barely in there.
Yeah.
That with was
amazing.
I've never had an old fashioned with rum in it, but this one really stood out. Really well done. Good flavors. Again, everything about it reminded me of October 20th, going to a farm, apple picking. It was the Northeast. It was the North America flavors.
Man, it's perfect.
It's perfect. You and I and Earth Eats
left the Northeast to go to Florida to experience the Northeast, but that's exactly what I did.
We certainly did, my friend. But hey, I live down here, so I got back to Pennsylvania.
Something degrees, but that's another story.
It was absolute and raining.
Yes. Forest and Field included the ravioli.
Ravioli, I thought was really good also. The only problem we had with that was the pecans. What? Not pecans. The hazelnut.
Okay.
What is that one? Forest and Field. Yes.
Yes.
The burrata, which I'm sorry, the hazelnut praline. A little bit crunchy when you're having a ravioli is a little weird.
Raviolis, right?
Yes, and they tasted great. Don't get us wrong. It just that crunch was something weird about that.
Yeah.
Overall, flavor was excellent.
Yes. Agree. Agree
And then we
completely.
had the autumn chili,
That's it right
which
there. Perfect segue, dude.
I will have that autumn chili for the rest of the time that this festival's going
This
on.
was another one just like the short ribs, a big serving, a nice bowl, very flavorful. It was a combination of different types of meats. It was really
Bison,
good.
lamb, pork belly, and root vegetables.
It was really good. I would give it a toss up, this or the short ribs, but I think I'd go for the short ribs.
Right?
Just a little bit better than this, but they're both right on top.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
look, I don't know how to go about which is the best one. I think you put those three booths in a row, you call that one, or even down to Earth Eats. And look, even at Sunshine Seasons, they still had an apple pie milkshake with a pie crust topping.
You
That
had
all
that,
that
right?
can kind of go into one festival within inside of a festival, if you will.
I love how you said that when we were down there, and you're right.
Yeah,
Send people
love
different
it.
directions,
I'm
gather all the
telling
food
you,
up.
if you
It's
go
gonna
there,
rain heading to Sunshine Seasons.
these are the booths you want to stop at. These are going to be the best of flavors. And that doesn't mean that everything else is bad. No, these just are exceptional.
Yes, agree completely.
Yeah. There
And
you
by the
go.
way, there's my stamper, my completer from Mills Fromage Montage is a blueberry cheesecake cake
It
cup.
certainly is.
So
It's
good
Dole Whip. It's blueberry Dole Whip.
with a slice of cheesecake.
Yeah. There it is.
This was
That certainly
amazing.
is some.
I had the
I
whole thing myself.
could not try it. Thank you so much, Disney.
I took care of it for you.
You certainly did, man. How was it?
It was great.
I bet. I bet. I love
What
getting those cups
wasn't
too,
as
man.
great this year, I had high hopes for the festival funnel cake at the funnel cake stand in America. Last year, this was phenomenal. It was a bourbon drizzled vanilla ice cream funnel cake that was unbelievable. This year's tiramisu funnel cake just it sounds good in theory, but it did not live up to the expectation.
By the way, I'm now hungry.
Oh,
Thanks
oh
for
yeah.
talking about this food for the last 30 minutes, man. I'm like, man, I need to get over to it just closed. I'm gonna miss getting
Yeah,
there.
they closed up, man.
That's okay. I will be there tomorrow morning and I will be trying something new.
That's
I'll
what you
go
need to
see if the
do.
fishwada is there.
Yes. All right. Here is one of the plates that John and I had dug into. On the left, these are the garlic parmesan wings from the brewing lab, and next to that is the mistake of the trip, which were the unnecessarily hot, spicy wings that just messed up anything that you tried after this. You couldn't taste, so we saved it for last, but it still was not that good.
They are
Uh,
unnecessarily hot.
Unnecessarily hot. This in the middle is from is it the noodle stand? The
The
noodle
noodle
exchange?
exchange.
The noodle exchange. Do you have that description there by any chance?
I do in about 2 seconds here.
That
Just gotta
is
get past India.
with the
Yeah, there you go. This is
with
the
the A.
ramen with shaved beef, or is this the ramen with tofu?
It's the ramen with beef.
Okay, ramen with shaved beef, shiitake mushrooms, pickled carrots, and daikon radish, shaved spicy peppers, and soy egg in citrus sesame broth.
The soy egg is what we're talking about. It was pretty good. It was good. It was good.
What's a soy egg?
It's a hard-boiled egg that's been soaking in soy sauce, so it has like a brownish to it. It's not white like you would expect.
Oh, we're not talking like it's made out of soybean.
No, it is a half of a hard-boiled egg right in the middle of
Oh,
that
okay.
bowl,
I
which
just
was
wanted to
in
make sure
soy
it was a
sauce,
real
but it's
egg. That's all I want. I'll eat a soy egg.
yes. The two on the right-hand side were both from Mexico, and I did not like either of those. This falls into the category of the Italian stuff there, Greg. There's so
Was
many
that the
other good
flauta
things.
or was that the pan de elote?
It's both of them.
Okay.
The first two, and I didn't like either one. To me, it was no.
Yeah,
I
because
felt
it's
like it was
barbacoa. Flauta
different.
and barbacoa kind of just don't mix, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Then over here on the left, this is from Australia, shrimp on the Barbie and the cake that they had, which, by the way, there's a closer view of that egg in the top there. You can see it's just kind of a brown, hard-boiled egg.
Certainly is brown.
Certainly is. That is the shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah, and then you got the Lemington, which is the yellow cake with raspberry filling with chocolate and coconut. Yeah.
Yes, that way it's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
it's fine.
I'd rather have a rainbow cake. You know me and my rainbow cake.
I believe me, I've seen you have it for breakfast, my friend.
I love the rainbow cake for breakfast. It is the one thing I will point out in this booth. This is Australia, and you can tell
Yeah.
that it's sort of like a tent with the stuff in it. And we think that the booth where it's supposed to be wasn't quite ready yet, although it looked
Yes.
like it was empty. But something's going on in Australia.
And sort of like a tent. No, my friend, it was a tent.
It was a tent.
It was just straight up a tent. But it was an industrial sized tent that you can
It was
cook
one of
in.
those things is not like the other when you look at their festival booths and locations.
Yeah, this should move over to its normal location very soon.
Yes, I do want to point out the shrimp on the Barbie was in a chili sauce, and it did
Ooh.
have some bite to it. There was some spice in the shrimp.
That's interesting. I wouldn't expect, and I don't know, maybe that's my ignorance, but and now that I think about it, of course, Australia is close to Thailand and is close to the Spice Islands. Of course, it would have flavors like that. I
Yes.
just, for some odd reason, never put one and one together, and now it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it was. I didn't expect it to be as hot as it was. It wasn't
Right.
super hot. It
Yeah.
definitely was not. It was not unnecessarily hot like the wings, but it was.
Yeah, that's so. This is the roasted warm water lobster tail. This was my glutton. I had to try it, and the lemon. If you take the lemon and you kind of squeeze it and rub it over there, you get some of that lemon pith, and that lemon has been grilled. So you get a grilled lemon flavor, and then the butter with it poured over top of it. It is so good, but at $13 or $14, it is the most expensive menu item at Food and Wine. Some people don't want to spend that, but this to me was one of those, if you're looking for a special treat, go for it. If you have the money to spend, go for it. If you're trying to save money, do not go for it.
They also have the shrimp cocktail at this location.
Yes.
I did,
which is
go for it,
two
and I got
jumbo
both.
shrimp.
The jumbo shrimp. I got the lobster tail and the shrimp because I wanted to try them both, and I wanted lunch on my last day before I left. And I have to say that I like the shrimp better than the lobster tail.
Yeah.
I felt like the lobster tail was overcooked just a little bit.
I think
And that's not how I want the lobster tail that I spent $12 for.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think mine may have been a little overcooked. I guess it depends on which side of the grill they placed it on, because
Could be.
the ones with the grill marks are a little overcooked.
I will say that the shrimp were amazing. I like them better than the lobster tail. You got 3 very big prawns that were really, really good.
I'm not a shrimp, I'm a prawn.
I
mean,
very good, man.
So one other thing I want to talk about real quick with you,
course.
Sam, and we got this, and I'm glad I have it in my hand.
Oh, yes.
Epcot has released a fun for families with kids map. So even the kids can now hold on to a map. If your kids are anything like when my kids were younger, they loved having a map in his hand. My son Colin was like the map of our house, man. He had to have the map. So the nice thing is this has a fold out. It kind of gives you all the activities that are going around Disney. But the really fun part is they actually have a fun families kids version of the map for Epcot. And it is really well done. I think
what I liked about it, Greg, is if you haven't been there for a few years, call it even before the pandemic, this is pointing out everything in Epcot for kids.
Yep. There's your fireworks at nighttime. There is your what you can do. You can do the just different. There's rides.
They remind you that Frozen After After's there, that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is there, that and even the characters. They broke down all the characters.
Yeah, it is all on here. Beauty and the Beast, Sing Along, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Sea Base, Alpha, Aquarium, Finding Dory, Fantastic Adventures is all in there. So it's all stuff for kids. And then, of course, on the back, they do have like the fun stops, doing DuckTales Adventure Around World Showcase. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was just, these are the little things that people love having. Like, I could give this to my kids and be like, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, you give that to them, and even that with a crayon or with a pencil, and they start checking things off. All right, we're doing this next.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
go here.
You
Let's
just go
go do
around.
this. I love
So
that.
overall, Sam, Epcot Food and Wine 2024 has come. It will be here until November
It'll be here till
17th or something
Christmas.
like that. It's good. I think it's really good,
It
man.
is a couple of changes.
November
from prior
23rd.
years.
Yeah.
This is no longer a taste of the festival. Remember, we had the taste of the festival started in July. We
Right.
did not have this start in July. We're starting in over Labor Day weekend. So we're back to the pre-pandemic schedules for festivals. The Eat to the Beat concert series is still happening. I saw the Fray; they were phenomenal. Check the schedule. There's some really good bands that are going to be playing the festival. Don't forget that there are dining packages at select restaurants around World Showcase. And there's also the dining package at the Regal Eagle, where you can get for $36, I think it is, your meal and your ticket
Yeah,
to a
it's
guaranteed
reasonable.
seat for the show. And of course,
What else do y'all
Luminous.
need to know, man?
I'm still missing
Yeah.
some of those extras that they had, the culinary demonstrations, the mixologies, the stuff that was happening inside the festival center. There was a promise that all that would be back, but maybe that's still to come. There's not enough room to do that inside Communicorp Plaza.
Yeah, there was a few things I thought really stood out. They were still doing special character meet and greets as we were going through France. I saw in the distance, and you know me and character, Sam, if I see a certain character, I saw Smee 150 yards away, and you know me well enough, I took off running. Didn't matter what group I was with or who I was with. I ran to go meet Smee and got to spend a good 2 or 3 minutes with him because he had just come out there. So Daisy Duck is in her outfit. Pluto has his collar on. We were over there, and Mickey and Friends meet and greet was down for a few minutes, but we got to run into Goofy.
Yeah, Goofy was out.
Goofy was just out wandering and was like, "Hey, Goofy." And he was great. So lots of stuff happening over there. That was great. And then Magic Kingdom, Magic Kingdom's Magic Kingdom. I don't want to tackle Magic Kingdom.
Halloween, it's ready to roll. It is the Halloween parties are happening, and I could not find a store anywhere in Walt Disney World that did not have Halloween merchandise.
It's everywhere. So the other thing we got to look forward to at Epcot is Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit. Which should be starting end of September, early October, and go until November 1st. I think you can turn in until November 23rd or November 17th.
Second scavenger hunt of sorts, right?
Yeah, you walk around and look for Pluto's pumpkins, and they are. It's not just World Showcase; it is actually around the World Celebration, World Nature, World Discovery area also.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. What was the completer for that last year? Do you remember?
It was the straw cup pumpkins.
Okay. Yeah. So like the eggs, but different.
I used to go to pumpkin patches, right? And you would order pumpkin juice or apple cider, and it would come in a pumpkin with one of those bendy straws.
Of course.
But this time, it's a Disney character.
Even better.
And they're smaller. I remember the big, like, drinking out of an apple. It was cool. I love that. Look, this festival is great. It sticks around forever, man. But there's so many different things. We're going to go through and do probably one booth a week for the next few weeks. We just did a Harvest Hollow. I did an article about Italy and just said nope, and moved on.
I think you would say the same for Mexico. So just stay away from it.
Yeah,
don't even do it. There's too many other options.
I do want to say, thank you to Tutto Italia. If you've never eaten at Tutto Italia, I have said this for 2 years and I maintain this. Tutto Italia is the best sit down restaurant at Walt Disney World by far. It is not on the level of Victoria and Albert's. It is a
Well, and it's
lower
not trying to
level.
be. It's in a park.
It's in a park. It is, but once you sit down and you have food there, you forget you're in a theme park.
Yeah.
The prices are reasonable. It's not as expensive as some, but it is not cheap to go there. The food is excellent. The staff is excellent. They treat you so well. And Holly and I went out there and had dinner and had one of the best evenings of our lives. And we want to especially thank Tutto Italia for taking care of us and just being a great place to sit down and eat. Like, Sam, I live here. I go to the parks all the time. So to spend an evening out, it has to be something special. And Tutto Italia is. So, yeah.
Love it, man. I have been there myself. It is great. I apologize for not being able to jump on any of the comments tonight because I am handicapped in not being in my regular location. So I only have one monitor. It made it tricky to share things, but we worked it out. Greg, thanks as always for hanging out.
Yeah, man. Of course, we will do this again next week, my friend. And hey,
a week from today,
you have
which is September the 11th, 2024.
Yeah, you got a big week in front of you with football coming back.
Yeah, football's back, man. Can you believe it? Tomorrow night's first game. Wow.
I'm going tomorrow to the Stadium Club here at Caribe Royale, and I'm going to enjoy a night of football. I don't even know who's playing, but hey, they invited us out, so I'm going to go root football.
That's awesome, man. Thank you, Greg, as always.
Sam, you can always, of course, everybody, you can get Sam's Disney Diary on YouTube, samsdisneydiary.com. You can go to Sam's Disney Daily on Instagram. You can catch me at Facebook, at Fantasyland News, Instagram, Fantasyland News Blog, YouTube. Please click on the YouTube, subscribe, like, all that other good stuff. We appreciate everybody. On that note, Sam, I'm saying end of line.
Kongaloosh. We'll see you next week.